everyone. We are the fifth presenter, and now we will discuss all about the gender inequality in marriage and criminal law. But before that, we will introduce ourselves first. My name is Sandara de Kalimbahin.
I'm Kathleen May Manuel.
Divine Grace Cabal-Poblak.
And I am Melly Micah Fontalera.
Good morning, classmates. We are the Group 5 and we are going to tackle the topic about the gender inequality in marriage and criminal law. So I'm the first presenter, Emily Villesa. So first, let us define what is gender inequality in marriage. It is the unequal power dynamics, unequal division of household labor, and limitations on women's freedom and autonomy within the marriage. So, gender inequality in marriage is the unequal treatment of their husband to their wife or to their wife to their husband. So here are some aspects in gender inequality in marriage. First is the power and decision making. Men may hold more power and influence within the marriage. Since sa loob ng household, husbands or men have the authority to control the family within the household. Second is the division of labor. Women often shoulder a disappropriate amount of household. So alam naman natin na ang mga asawang babae ay sila yung mga housewives, sila yung nagtatrabaho sa loob ng bahay, nagluluto, pinagsisilbi ng asawa at inaalagaan ang anak. Third is the financial dependence. Women financially dependent to their husband. So since sometimes kasi ang mga lalaki ang may trabaho and ang mga babae naman ay umaasa lamang sa sinasahod ng kanilang asawa. And sometimes din may mga wife din na nagtatrabaho at ang kanilang mga asawa naman, their husband, sila yung nandun sa bahay na nagtatrabaho. Fourth is the violence. Women likely to experience domestic violence. So kadalasan, ang mga babae ay nakakaranas ng physical abuse or verbal abuse sa kanilang asawa, lalo na kung ang treatment talaga ng kanilang asawang lalaki ay hindi equal sa kanilang asawang babae. So, a marriage is a special contract of permanent union between a man and a woman, entered into in accordance with law for the establishment of conjugal and family life. An inviolable social institution, the foundation of the family, and shall be protected by the state, Article 14, Section 2, 1987 Constitution. Under the Family Code, Executive Order No. 209, Series 1987, by the virtue of the President of the Philippines, Corazon C. Aquino, signed on July 6, 1987. So, it says here that marriage is the permanent union between a man and a woman. But nowadays, in this generation, marami ng batas ang napanukala na nagkaroon ng gender equality. So, hindi lang babae at lalaki ang kinakasal, kundi may same-sex marriage na din, babae sa babae at lalaki sa lalaki. Criminal law, the branch of law that deals with offenses against society, defining crimes and prescribing punishments for those who commit them. So, criminal law by the word itself, crime. So, syempre, pag may nagawa kang crime, may punishment ka. And here are the various personal laws, also presents a picture of inequality apart from the martial laws. Gender equality issues on right work prohibition. Article 130 of the Labor Code. So, sa article na ito, ipananukala na mayroon ng gender equality when it comes into work. So, may mga right na ang mga lalaki and may right din ang mga babae. Disputable presumptions, Rule 131, Section 3 of the Rules of the Court, and the removal of criminal liability of rapists under Republic Act 83-53.
So, let's proceed to the primacy of the decisions of the husband or father. In case either or both of the contracting parties not having been emancipated by previous marriage are between the age of 18 and 21. They shall, in addition to the requirements of the preceding articles, exhibit to the local civil registrar the consent to their marriage of the father, mother, surviving parents or guardians, or persons having legal charge of them in the other mentions. So, in these articles is tinatakal dito yung about sa pagsisettlement or sa mga gusto na permanent ng pagsasama, especially sa mga gusto nang magpakasal. And if you are under 18 to 21 years old, is kailangan mong gumawa ng consent requirements at yung tinatawag nilang consent letter na nagsasabi doon yung pagpapahintulot ng mga guardians or both parents na nagsasabi doon na mag-oo sila para kayo ay mailigal na magsama. And because this contract of permanent of pagsasama between a man and a woman enter into accordance other law for the establishment of the conjugal and family life. About doon yun, yung Article 14. So, next is about the Articles 96 of the Family Codes of the Philippines. The administrations and enjoyment of the community property shall belong to the spouses jointly. In case of disagreement, the husband decision shall prevail. So, these articles is pinag-uusapan yung community property or tinatawag na conjugal property ng mag-asawa. And tinatagal dito yung about sa kung anong ari-arian ng isa ay magiging ari-arian na rin ng isa, which is kayong mag-asawa. So, kapag yung asawa mo dito is nagbenta ng mga ari-arian nyo, like for example sa house and lot and businesses na consider conjugal property siya, is kinakailangan gumawa siya ng written marital consent na nagsasabi dun yung pagpapahintulot ng asawa mo sa pagbebenta mo ng ari-arian. So, kapag yung lalaki, hindi siya, wala siyang pahintulot sa asawa niyang babae na nagbenta ng ari-arian, is pwede siyang makasuhan or yung tinatawag nating null and void. So, let's talk about the articles of 1 to 4. The administrations and enjoyment of the conjugal partnership shall belong to the both spouses jointly. In case of the disagreement, the husband's decision shall prevail. So, dito sa articles of 1 to 4, pinag-uusapan pa rin yung about sa conjugal property and or yung tinatawag nilang community property. O yung, yun nga, yung sinasabi na conjugal partnership property ng mag-partner, ng mag-spouse or ng mag-asawa about sa ari-arian nila. So, dito, pinag-uusapan yung case about sa properties na maibebenta ng sino man sa kanila. Mostly sa lalaki na kung sakali mang magbebenta ng properties na walang pahintulot ng babae or nagsasabing pumapayag sa pagbebenta ay maaring makasuhan. And sa part na yon or sa case na yon is may karapatan yung asawa na hindi nakuhanan ng permiso or ng pahintulot sa pagbebenta na yon ay maaaring magsampa ng kaso o magreklamo. So, dun sa part na yon siguro yung tamang lunas na lang yung about doon is yung pag-usapan sa korte. So, sa part na yon makikinabang pa rin naman sila sa sa property na yun ng dalawa, so ng 5 taon mula sa pagkapetsa ng kanilang kontrata. So mostly dito sa part na to, sa article na to is yung sa lalaki na madalas na mas nagbebenta ng mga properties kasi sila yung mas nasusunod sa loob ng bahay about sa mga properties.
Article 211 of the Family Code of the Philippines. The father and the mother shall jointly parental authority over the persons of their common children. In case of disagreement, the father's decision shall prevail unless there is a judicial order to the contrary. Kung ang mga magulang ay hindi nagkakaunawaan on a matter concerning their children, ang decision ng ama ang masusunod or mapa-priority, but it doesn't mean na wala ng karapatan ang ina na magsalita. The mother can challenge the father's decision in court, where the judge will determine the best action for the child. Article 225 of the Family Code of the Philippines. The father and the mother shall jointly legal guardianship over the property of the common child without the necessity of the court appointment. Both the father and the mother share a equal responsibility for managing their child property. The parents disagree on how to manage their child's property, yung decision ng ama ang masusunod, maliban na lang kung may ibang decision ang court. This provision aims to provide a clear path para ma-resolve kung ano man ang hindi nila pagkakaunawaan at para ma-stop na yung mga matagal nilang pinag-aawayan na nakakaapekto sa mga bata. The mother retains the right to challenge the father's decision in court, where a judge will assess the situation and decide what's best for the child.
Tackle the two higher burden on women. Number 1, crime of adultery. 2, crime of concubinage. Number 1, adultery. Adultery involves a wife who engaged into sexual intercourse with a man not her husband. Adultery is when a married woman has sexual relationship with someone who is not her husband. 2. Concubinage involves a husband who has sexual intercourse with a woman not his wife under scandalous circumstances. 2. Keep another woman in the conjugal house. 3. Cohabitating with another woman in another dwelling. Concubinage. This is when married man does any of the following. 1. Has sexual relationship with a woman is his wife under circumstances that cause scandal. 2. Keep another woman as a mistress in their family home or lives with another woman in a different house. And the third, the penalty of imprisonment is impossible on paramour in adultery. Penalty for paramour in adultery: the person the married woman had affair with the paramour cannot be imprisoned from adultery. Penalty for convenience. The last one, the penalty of desterio. A woman who is in concubinage situation with a married man will face the penalty of the stereo banishment.
So let's move on to the forgiveness clause in the crime of rape, RA 8353, or the anti-rape law. So as is stated in the RA 8353 or the anti-rape law, that subsequent valid marriage between the offender and the offended party shall extinguish the criminal action or the penalty imposed. It also recognizes that if the offender is the legal husband, the subsequent forgiveness by the wife is the offended party shall extinguish the criminal action of the penalty. So, ang 8353 or kilala bilang the Anti-Rape Law 1997 sa Pilipinas ay nilalayo niyang protektahan at ipagtanggol yung mga kababaihan at lahat ng pwedeng maging biktima ng pang-aabuso at karahasan. Example na lang is kagaya ng sinabi kanina, yung husband and wife, kapag pinilit ka ng husband mo na makipag-intercourse sa kanya nang wala kang consent, is pwede mo siyang sampahan ng kaso sa anti-rape law. And now, let's proceed to exclusive definition of prostitution. In Article 202 of the Revised Penal Code amended by RA number 10158, retained the decades-old definition of prostitutes as women who, for money of profit, habitually engage in sexual intercourse or lascivious conduct. Following this definition, a man who peddles sexual acts for profit is in effect invisible in the eyes of law, thus making the actor thereof immune to imprisonment. So, sinasabi dito, yung prostitution is practice of engaging in sexual activity in general with someone who is not a spouse or a friend, in exchange for immediate payment with money or other valuables. For example, yung mga tinatawag nating babaeng bayaran, and also meron din namang lalaki yung kagaya ng mga macho dancer, ganon.